Okay, so there was a point that came up during retreat that I just want to clarify because I talked to a couple of people about it this morning. And that is when I was talking about the disadvantages of the self-centered mind, yeah, I didn't mean to imply or infer or say or anything that every single thing we do is self-centered. Did people get that idea? Okay. Yeah, because, you know, you can, a couple of people, because we can look at our own mind and see, you know, we have kind thoughts, we have good motivations, yeah. So when I was talking about, for example, jumping to conclusions, and I say, you know, we never consider that maybe the other person wasn't meaning what they said. When I say words like never in that context, it means like in our ordinary kind of way. It doesn't mean human beings never do that. Yeah? I just want to get really clear here, okay? Because it's really, you know, it's clear. I mean, we look at our mind, we have kind motivations, we have generosity, we have good thoughts towards people, you know, and so we can trust those. Those things aren't self-centeredness. Yeah, so when we talk about the disadvantages of self-centeredness, that's referring to that mind that's always saying, me, I'm most important, take me first, give me what I want, get rid of all my problems, I'm the most important one in the world. That's the self-centered thought. But clearly not all of our thoughts are self-centered, okay? And as I was saying to somebody, if I really truly thought that we, you know, never think of the other person's situation, meaning, you know, that the we there isn't referring to us ordinary beings, but like human beings, never, ever, you know, at all, you know, think of others, then what in the world am I doing teaching the Dharma? You know, if I don't think people have these possibilities to think and act differently, then I certainly wouldn't be spending my time talking about it. Okay? So, you know, this is very, very important that people see that, you know, and look, the trick is, and this is why it's so important to think about the teachings and ask questions when you don't understand and discuss with other people, is because when you check with your own mind, you can see what your own experience is, you know? And if you think the Buddha's telling you that you're always selfish, but you know that you aren't, yeah, then you might think, well, maybe I'm not understanding the teaching as it's meant to be understood. Yeah, and so that's why it's good to ask questions and clarify to make sure we get a good example. On the other hand, when I was talking about with the food, how we put all the food together to get just the perfect bite with everything we want on it, that one, for us ordinary beings, that I would say we're usually pretty involved with ourselves when we're doing that. Would you agree? You know, that we're completely into this plate of food, you know, kind of the rest of the world is on hold, and we're putting our carrot and lettuce with the right amount of salad dressing together to get the maximum pleasure from each bite. Yeah. So on those kinds of things, you know, we can watch and see how our mind is, you know, trying to get the most pleasure from everything. Yeah. But that doesn't mean that every single instance of our mind when we're alive is doing that. Okay. Good. Any questions about this? Clarify? Yeah.
Like the title of this one, this book, Flash of Lightning in the Dark of Night, is really, I mean, so it's not that it's, you know, we say that it's always dark at night, but occasionally there's a flash of lightning, and we can see for a very brief moment, but 99% of the time, at least in my experience, so much of my time is spent consumed with myself, and even the points when I think of other people are so brief, that I can pretty much say, yeah, all I do is think of myself. I don't mean it literally, but 99.99%.
Yeah. You know, our default mode is thinking of ourselves, isn't it?
It's hard to get out of default.
Yeah, yeah. So we need to, you know, stretch ourselves to get out of default. Yeah. But the thing is, the whole thing when we're talking about the disadvantages of self-centeredness is don't go to saying, I'm bad because I'm self-centered. That's not the point. To feel bad about ourselves is not the point. It's to recognize that the self-centered thought is what makes us miserable. And since we respect ourselves and we want to be happy, and we want the people around us and all sentient beings to be happy, then we want to free ourselves of the self-centered thought, because it doesn't serve any good purpose. It doesn't fulfill, you know, the real things that we want in life. Okay, so that's the purpose of talking like this. Okay? And of course, you know, like I said, default mode is self-centered. We're going to be self-centered. We don't need to beat ourselves up over the head every time we are. It's like, okay, there it was again. Yeah, created a problem. Let's, you know, just keep being aware and attentive and heedful and watchful and do something about it. And, you know, and then what we do is we select the aspect of self-centeredness that makes the biggest mess. Yeah. You know, like getting our peas and carrots into one spoonful in our mouth. That's self-centered, you know, and seeking our own pleasure. But I wouldn't say that that is the most crucial aspect of self-centeredness that we need to focus on obsessively of how I'm eating every day, you know. I mean, be mindful and aware of it. But look in our lives about the biggest way that self-centeredness creates havoc and discord and conflict in our own minds and with the people around us. Work on that one first. You know, let's not beat ourselves over the head about the ones that are not so important. You know, we'll get to them. We can be mindful of them. But the big ones, yeah, let's work with those. Okay? Questions? Comments? It's a deal? Okay, good. Let's go.